Hello and welcome to another episode of SoundOrg TV. Today we're rejoined by our old friend Colin Pratt from Chord Electronics, and we're going into a deep dive on their brand new product, the 2U. Colin, welcome. Thanks for joining us, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
So, Colin, the floor is going to be yours. Tell us about the new 2U, how it originated, the functionality, how you would use it. The floor is yours, mate.
Great, thank you. Before we talk about 2U, I think what we need to do is understand perhaps the story of how we got to 2U. And that really starts with our good friend here, Hugo 2. Most customers will be aware that we are quite heavily involved in the portable audio market. We have the Mojo and its partner, the Poly. We also, the upgrade from Mojo would be the Hugo 2. The design for this was kind of like, the concept was maybe you'd use it at home, put it in your satchel, take it to the office. So quite a flexible product and using your home audio system. What we wanted to do was develop a product that allowed this to be even more flexible. So we developed 2Go. Now, we were looking around at various streaming platforms, which a lot of companies will use. A lot of manufacturers will bring in third-party companies, but it would not allow us the flexibility that we wanted to partner Hugo 2 and how we would want to use the product and listen to music. A lot of the third-party companies, it's too power hungry, you can't run them on battery. So we set about designing our own platform from ground up. And there's some other reasons for this. It allows you complete control. So should you decide to go down a route, you don't have to work it with the third-party companies. If a third-party company is going down a route, you don't have to follow them or argue with them. Something that's very important to us is if a customer buys our product, we don't want them to feel like they're then beholden to us charging them for upgrades that keep coming at a regular-ish stage. So anything that we do to our devices, any software update, firmware update, functionality update, is all free. Once you've invested once in the product, then that's it. So Hugo 2 would connect to 2Go with these simple little little grub screws, and they literally just slot in, screw in, and you end up with a singular device.
Colin, for those not familiar, what does 2Go give you?
Just gently, now normally you put this together on a flat surface. This now is a streamer, renderer, server, Roon endpoint, okay? You'll see here 2 SD card slots. Each will carry at the moment a 2 terabyte SD card. So that's 4 terabytes of storage. You can put it on your home network, you can put it on your office network, you can use a mobile hotspot while you're out roaming, and you just control the device by your laptop, your phone, your tablet, etc. as a control point, like most streaming devices. But what with this one is, it's because we're using solid state memory, you get the absolute best in audio quality. There's also, this unit is battery powered, so you don't suffer from any noise coming into the network, etc. So you can stream music from the device into Hugo 2. You can stream music from services such as Qobuz, Tidal, etc. You can stream music from your third-party NAS, so a network-assisted storage device that's sat on your network, shared device that's sat on your network somewhere around the house. So just very flexible. And the idea, obviously, you can then plug this into your home system, unplug it, put it in satchel, take it to work, put it behind your laptop, and work with some headphones in without disturbing other people. So you get high quality music wherever you're going. And 2Go is a very popular product for us what we wanted to do was kind of expand on that and offer that versatility and flexibility to a wider audience. So if we remove to go, we then started developing to you. Now I've got, see, one of the things that we're very proud of is our packaging. Normally this would have a sleeve on. I apologize for not having one here. This is pre-production packaging, but you'll see it's just a really nice opening. Got the Chord logo, some of our little strap lines. And we think that you're buying a nice product, you want to have some nice packaging that comes with it. Obviously the device, the product's in the top. In the bottom, you have a nice drawer that comes out. And the first thing you're met with is safety instructions. That's what most blokes do. And then we always, with our products, have what we call a quick starter guide, because most people, they want to get the device, they want to plug it in and they want to get going. So we always supply what we call like a quick up and running, get you going, so that whilst the music's playing, you can then go online and look at a more comprehensive instruction manual that's sat on our website. We also supply many in a nice little Chord Electronics drawstring bag. You'll have external power supply, various good quality cables, optical cable, BNC cable, USB cable, and an Ethernet cable, which I've already previously pinched out of this. So all of that comes with, and then the device is here. The reason why I've gone for a silver one, a silver to you and a black to go, today's day and age of doing everything by video online, I can't guarantee the quality of my camera and the lighting, etc. So please excuse that. Normally we would have the same color, but this just shows the two devices and how they would make together. So in the box are again two of these little grub screws. You'll see just two little holes here. You literally just quick screw in. My shaky fingers. And then the devices, again, we recommend putting these together flat on a flat surface. And on the to-go, there's two USB sockets. One is power and one is data, USB data, and the two USB sockets. So everything lines up gently, and the two units mate together. And if you can just see, perhaps I should have this little hole here, that little hole there, we supply little grub screws that then will screw in, and they tighten onto those two interlocking pins I've just showed you, and then the device is locked together. So should you pick it up, you can't accidentally pull it apart or whatever. It just becomes one solid device. So this way you can use your to-go on your Hugo 2, or use the to-go and partner it with the 2U. So now we have a to-go to you, and the two units combined is a server, streamer, renderer, Rune endpoint, also a network bridge. So it has a lot of functionality. In fact, if I plug in, there's one earlier. You can see we have the control on the top. We have a mute function, output function, options for different dimming or brightness display, and then obviously your power button. Your dimming will scroll through various stages of. Some people just don't like the lights at all. It's fine, go without them. Input. Input will select between two banks of outputs. You'll see on here we have the BNC option, a true 75 ohm connection, digital RCA, coaxial, optical, and USB output. So the input output button here is basically selecting where the audio is coming out of. It's either coming out of those three or the USB. The simple reason for that is because a USB has to talk to the USB device at the other end. Okay. We did think that some people may have a very advanced DAC in one of their systems, which the to-go would be bolted to, but they may in their home system not quite have achieved this technical level yet. They may be in between DACs, they may have another DAC, etc. Or they may not have the inputs available. So on the SD card, you may have some high resolution files that's perfectly fine for Hugo 2 because it's playing via USB. But when you plug it into your home system via, say, for example, optical, the optical cable won't carry as high a resolution as the USB. So any file that is already on the to-go, if it is above the maximum resolution that the output can handle, it will automatically downsample it to the capability of the output that you are using. So a simple one, you might have a 384 file. Optical obviously can't cope with that, but you might be using optical at your home DAC. It will just downsample it automatically to 192. So it only downsamples when it is required to because of the limitations of the output. So should you have a DAC that takes the full resolution that say a Hugo does, you may have an M Scaler, you may have a Dave, TT2 or whatever, then you would naturally connect it via either the BNC or the USB and take full advantage of the full resolution just flowing through. It's an extremely powerful processor in there. It runs at 2,000 times 1 million instructions per second. Okay, so it's really, really quite a powerful processor. The way it can be used is, as I touched on earlier, as a Roon endpoint, as a streamer, as a server, because you've got the two SD card slots. As a network bridge, one of the countries that we work with closely, as much as we'd love to sell more amplification out there, they are very keen on using active speakers with DACs built in, where you can connect this direct into the speakers with the digital input, and then you can control. There's a volume control in to go. So you control it. So you then have one of the neatest, smallest systems. You might wish it to be a second system for, your office, your bedroom. You can get a very small, neat pair of speakers that would just do the job. Take it out, put it in your home system, and you have a very powerful streaming network bridge. Another important feature of the to-go to you combination is DC powered. Therefore, there's no internal AC power supplies, which could possibly cause noise, harm to the network, and deteriorate the sound quality. Now, our end goal really was a flexible, transparent sounding streaming source that allows you to expand your system. Now, if you got the to-go as a Hugo 2 customer, what the to-go to you combination allows you to do is then add the M Scaler into the system. So you would go to you, digital out into the M Scaler, and then you would take the M Scaler into the Hugo 2, and that would be a natural upgrade path. The M Scaler adds a huge amount of quality to our devices.
What does the M Scaler do, Colin? And what improvements would you expect to get with that?
An M Scaler effectively is a 1 million tap filter. Incredibly complex inner workings, and I won't lie and say that I understand entirely how it works. But basically what you're doing is you're putting in a digital signal into the M Scaler, and then it's upscaling, but in a Chord Electronic or Rob Watts stroke Chord Electronics way. So it's not just doubling up on bits. And the M Scaler gives you absolute 16-bit accuracy from the original source file. So I'm very happy to say that I've not yet heard anyone who has not tried an M Scaler turn around and say they've not heard the vast improvements that it brings. The joy of an M Scaler is if you go to your local dealer and ask to hear one, instead of the normal demonstration where you would plug something in, unplug something, wait a few minutes while the retailer plugs the next part in, with an M Scaler, we've built in a system where you can actually have it on bypass, so you don't hear it at all, and then several steps thereof of upscaling to its maximum capability. The reason why we have steps in is because you can actually add an M Scaler to another DAC manufacturer and improve their DACs, but their DACs won't take as much data as ours, so we had to restrict it to allow that first stage. So you might say, I'd like to improve my system with an M Scaler, knowing that you're going to buy one of our DACs at a later stage and then take full advantage of the full processing power of the M Scaler. So the M Scaler is actually compatible with Qtist, Hugo 2, Hugo TT2, and Dave. So what you can do is you can, if you're a Hugo 2 or a Qtist customer, you can add the M Scaler and then decide whether you want to improve the DAC thereafter. So there's different ways of upgrading your system. So, I mean, some of the feedback that we've had on this device, one of our distributors, I'm not going to mention any brand names because that's just not what we do. But the quote is, it's almost impossible to understand how this tiny set can be better than all of the above mentioned. And they said that the difference in sound quality is huge. Now, the test was done against high quality PC using a proper music program, MacBook, which seems to be the audiophile's PC of choice. I'm sure Mac users will not be impressed with me calling it a PC, but many leading brands were also put up against the To Go To You combination, and the distributor with their dealers all categorically stated that the To Go To You was a much better performing device sonically, and with the flexibility of the different packages of software available, everyone was really thrilled with what it offered them and their customers.
So very much a no-holds-barred performance design rather than just a mobile design.
Absolutely. So don't let the size fool you. It's a very, very powerful processing product that's built to be as open and transparent as possible. We've always said that our view is that you should only be listening to the music and not the equipment. We're very much an engineering-led company. The guys that run Chord Electronics are amazing technical engineers, and they've developed what we think is a fantastic product. It's brought many challenges. There's an awful lot of software testing that's gone into that. But I'm very, very proud to say as well, you'll see on the back, flying the Union flag. It's designed and built in Britain, and that's something that we hold very dear to ourselves. We try and work with as many local suppliers as possible, and yeah, make good product for hopefully most people in the world to enjoy.
Colin, thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us that great insight into the brand new 2-year product. As you say, hand built in the UK. Certainly I'm very proud of that in today's world. Thank you for joining us on this episode of SoundOrg TV. We welcome your comments and suggestions. Hit the bell, and we look forward to seeing you again for more content from the Sound organization.